I just want to make this real quick video to say I've been where you are. I'm 4 years plus into this journey, and right now I've got the best relationship with my wife that I've ever had. Apart from the honeymoon phase of relationship, the initial getting together and having all the good feels and stuff like that. We've been together 26 years now, and when I first started this journey, we were getting ready to celebrate our 22nd wedding anniversary, and and things weren't great. In fact, 2 days after Christmas that year, 2018, she said that she broke down into tears and said she didn't feel any different, that she didn't know if she wanted to be married, that she wasn't happy, I wasn't happy. We were, it was a very strained Christmas. Everybody trying to pretend like everything was okay. And in that moment, I really hadn't fully learned everything that I needed to learn, everything that I know now, and I'm still learning. And the thing that I didn't know was that I just needed to listen to her, that I needed to give her the opportunity to express that without reacting to it, that I needed to give her the ability to pressure release, that she was holding all of this in, and she was keeping it all to herself, and she felt bad about it, and she had all of this echo chamber of thoughts going on in her mind, and it was building pressure in her brain, almost like when you were a kid and your brother or your father or your uncle, somebody held you down. Maybe you were wrestling and you're having a good time and you were laughing and giggling and playing, and then they pinned you to the floor, and then the next thing you know, they were telling you that they weren't going to let you up, and all of a sudden you felt this pressure in your head, like, oh, they're not going to let me up. I feel powerless. I feel frustrated. I feel like something's being done to me, and the next thing you know, the pressure built so much that you just wanted to cry, that you just needed to release it, that you needed to get it out, because obviously they were going to have to go pee at some point. They didn't really intend to pin you down forever. In fact, you probably hadn't been pinned down for more than 10 seconds, but just the sheer idea of being powerless, of somebody else being in control, of things not being what you want them to be, created pressure in your head, and it seemed like the whole rest of the world faded away, right? All of a sudden you have tunnel vision of survival, and that's all you can focus on. And that's what happens in these relationships, is that we get up in our head, she gets up in her head. Things just get to the point where we just don't think it's going to be any different. And a lot of times that's what happens for the woman. She loses hope. She can't see the way forward, and she gets tired, and she feels like she's in survival mode, and she didn't, she just feels like she needs to get away, like she needs space, like she needs something different, and she doesn't know how to fix it, and sometimes she just needs to be able to throw up emotionally. She needs to be able to share that with us. She needs to be able to tell us, and she needs us to be okay with that when she does. It seems so incredibly counterintuitive, and I know you're probably, even as I say this, kind of scratching your head and saying, what the hell is he talking about? It's a superpower that we develop, to be able to sit there and listen to that person, to be able to watch them cry, to be able to have empathy for that person, but also at the same time recognize that there's nothing for us to do, that we don't really always need to do something. If your kids step out in front of traffic and there's a bus coming, you're certainly going to reach out and pull them out of the road because something in that moment needs to be done. But when they're just telling you how they feel about something, there's not a real tangible physical threat there. It's just something that makes us uncomfortable, that we're reacting to, and we can actually learn to sit in that and listen to that person and give them the safety and space that they need to be able to express themselves without taking it personally, without feeling like we need to fix it, without really doing anything. And what we learn is that in our not doing, we actually are doing a lot. We are providing that person with a real stable, grounded environment, and giving them the ability to get that pressure out of their head and to be able to breathe again, and to feel like they're okay, and to feel like there's going to be hope for something different. And so that's where you might find yourself this Christmas day. So if your wife says anything, I want you to do this. I want you just to step back and observe it and listen to her, and don't assign any meaning to it. Just add right now to the end of everything she says, and recognize that she needs to purge. She needs to throw up. She needs to pressure release. And your job is to hold the basket, to hold the trash can, to hold the bucket so that she can throw up into it. And I know it's really hard in this time, because you might feel like nobody cares about you. You might feel like, why do I have to do all this for somebody when nobody is doing anything for me? And what I'm going to say to you in that moment is that I get it. I understand that when we don't feel loved, we don't feel valued, we don't feel cared about, it's really hard for us to look past all of that pain and see somebody else's pain and to be able to be there for them. And so that's why I want you to be sure to reach out to a brother today, to come into the community, into Mentoring Men, and have a conversation with a man. Reach out to somebody, have a phone call, write your feelings out in the feed, into the discussion group, and just say what it is that you're feeling, because you'll be surprised about how much better you feel with your own pressure release, with your own emotional vomit. And that's what we're here for as men, is to support each other and to hold each other up, and to be able to give each other a safe space to have that healing, to have that purge, so that we can then in turn to the people in our life and be that calm, confident, grounded person who can be there for them, so that they can do their healing, and that we can all be healthy together. All right, brother. Merry Christmas. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.